What is up, artists? My name is Blue Drew and we are painting today. I've never painted on our channel before. We're going to be painting this lovely oceanscape. Look at that. There are a lot of different things out there, but painting is probably my favorite. The first thing before we do anything else, we've got to make sure we are equipped for painting. So, give me 1 second and I'm going to put on my artist apron and I'll be right back, then we'll get into it. Alright. Got my artist apron on, and it's totally okay if you don't have an artist apron. You can just use an old t-shirt that you're okay with getting dirty. That's what I used to do before I got this lovely thing. I really like it because it's the color yellow. Did you know the color yellow is the color of happiness? Yeah, that's a fun fact for today. Speaking of fun facts, it's time for the question of the day, which is, what was your favorite thing you did this summer? One of my favorite things I did this summer was I went to the beach. When I went to the beach, I was thinking about how beautiful it was and how much I'd really like to paint it. That's a picture of our artist there. His name was Winslow Homer, and he loved to paint what we call landscapes, which means he painted hills, he painted valleys, he painted mountains, and most of all, he loved to paint the ocean. Look at that. And what I love the most is that he used all kinds of colors. Like when I think of the ocean, I think of blue, maybe green. He used full colors of the rainbow. We're going to get into that today. Let's talk about some of the supplies we'll need. For today's project, we're going to need some watercolors. We're going to need a piece of watercolor paper. We're going to need to use water, obviously. We're going to need to use 2 size brushes. I always like having a big brush and a medium-sized brush. We're also going to need a paper towel. And if you're unsure of like how these watercolors will look on your paper, I recommend having a little piece of watercolor paper next to your painting area, so then you can kind of test out the colors. And I'll show you how I did this in a second. I need a Sharpie. Also, we're gonna obviously need a pencil, or an eraser, glue stick, some scissors, but make sure if you are under the age of 5, make sure you get help from a grown-up. Oh, we're gonna need a piece of blank paper, and I'll show you why in a little bit. Last thing we're gonna need is a little bit of salt. You might be thinking, Blue Drew, why do we need salt for? Well, don't worry, I'll explain it to you. All right, let's get started. So the first thing we're gonna do is take our pencil, and we're going to draw what I call a horizon line. If you want, you can use a ruler, but you really don't have to. You're gonna draw a line all the way across your watercolor paper. That's so we know which side's going to be the ocean and which side's going to be the sky. And the only thing I want to draw is I'm going to draw a couple of wavy lines across, like this. These are going to be my waves. So here I'm going to take my paintbrush, make sure it's nice and wet, and I'm going to prep it. Add some water there. And we're going to cover the whole top of the page with water. Let's see, what else do we want to do? Let's do some more of this blue. Ooh, look at that. That's awesome. Can drop some of this color in, maybe mix a couple colors here. Let's see, I'm going to add some of this purple just because I think it will look really pretty. So then I just kept up this technique with dropping as much color as I could onto the wet paper. Then I'm going to show you what I did next. So pretty. I'm going to tilt some of this so it can kind of spread. Look at that. That's awesome. I'm going to get some more blue and do that again. There we go. What's cool about this technique is because the paper's wet, it allows the colors to bleed into each other and to kind of make new colors. Okay, and while this is wet, I'm going to add some more salt. Go. Okay. Now we're going to put this off to the side and we're going to let this dry. So, obviously, since we're drawing our ocean, I think it's important that our ocean has a boat. Don't you? I think so. So I'm going to teach you how to draw a really simple boat, and then we're going to cut it out. We're going to glue it on top of our ocean once it dries. So very, very simple way to draw a boat is we're going to draw a straight line all the way down. It can be, you can use a ruler if you want. It doesn't have to be completely straight. And then at the bottom, we're going to draw another line. I'm going to draw a curve all the way down, connecting it. So it kind of looks like a mouth at this point. And then we're going to draw a triangle. So I'm going to go all the way across and then all the way there. Now you might think, oh Drew, that's the most simple boat in the world. Well, yeah, it is. But if you want it to be more detailed, you totally can do that. Or if you already know how to draw a boat better than me, go ahead. Then I just added a few details. There we go. And that's pretty good. And I'm going to trace that in Sharpie. There's our boat. It doesn't have to be super fancy. And we're going to come back to it after we do our ocean. Alright, so this is our paper so far. Side note, if you want your paper to dry faster, you can always use a blow dryer. But you can always wait overnight too if you don't have a blow dryer on hand. Alright, so now we're going to finish up. So to start off, I just laid down a base of blue paint on dry paper. Okay, look at that. Now this is dry. You can kind of see our pencil lines. If you look just a little bit, you can still see them. So I'm going to come and paint over that, and now add my small brush here. I'm going to take some blue, purple, and just make some swirly shapes. Follow those curves. I really like this blue. You're just going to do it like that. Look at that. And what I love with watercolor is you can kind of do some layering if you want. And we're just gonna do this technique until the whole page is covered. I use a little bit of green and a little bit of purple. So the next thing we're gonna do is add some last details with our Sharpie. Draw a couple little birds off into the distance. You can just do this by doing a little V. These yellow blobs. Make a little sun. Make a couple clouds. Again, what I think is super cool is that clouds don't have to be just one color. You can have pink clouds, green clouds, blue clouds, even yellow clouds. There we go. So now all we need to do is cut out our boat. If you're under the age of 5, ask a grown-up to help you. But I wanted to show you how we cut around curves. I kind of already showed you. See? We cut forward and we twist. And then I'm going to cut again. Twist. 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 And I'm going to go all the way straight. Go. Don't need that anymore. I'm going to flip it all the way around. And I'm going to cut on the lines that I did. I'm just going to follow that technique all the way through. So now that we've got our lovely boat, I'm just going to flip that over. Put my glue stick. Now this part's important. To help save our glue, we're going to put glue along the edges of our piece that we made here. You don't necessarily have, mixed it with the water there. You don't necessarily have to mix. You don't necessarily have to do the inside. Do the edges, because then it will stick better. Go. Go. Be very, very careful. Put this. I don't know. I'll put it here. And you actually got a couple of smudges on it, but we could pretend that's splashing water. We're going to use our fingers to just lay that down. Looks like I need a little bit more glue. This is why it's always good to check after you've laid it down. And now I'm going to come back in and I'm going to add a little bit more of our blue wavy lines so our boat doesn't look like it's just floating in the air. Add just a tiny bit of color to my clouds so they just look, I just thought it would be fun to add a little bit more. Tiny bit more color. Ooh, there we go. Some green in this cloud. Just so it looks a little bit more three-dimensional. And last, I'm gonna add just a bit more yellow on my sun. Cool. Last thing we're gonna do is put our artist signature here at the bottom. That's it. Look at our beautiful piece. Yay! Look how pretty our picture came out. I'm gonna put mine up there. What did you guys think? Let me know down in the comments if you made this, or if you'd like to see more videos like this. There's some videos over here if you want to watch more art creation videos. And don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe, don't forget to ring the bell for notifications. And until then, it's Blue Truth saying bye.